Welcome to Creative Brews. I'm Kristen, and this is your weekly dose of creativity, where photography, design, and life come together. So, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about what's brewing. Welcome back to another episode of Creative Brews. As you can tell, in this episode we have a guest. This is my fiancé, Patrick, and today we plan on talking about how we all the time schedule everything because, busy lives. I get it, we get it, but what we don't schedule is time for rest and why that's important.
It's very important. And thank you for having me again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Back on the your channel, your podcast, or what do they call it nowadays, right?
Yes, season 2. We're going strong.
Wow, look at that. Season 2.
Right.
Moving forward.
Yep, going strong. So that's good, Definitely recommend not only scheduling rest time, but scheduling time for you to make some content, and then you can schedule it, as I try to do.
Oh yeah, that can be difficult, especially living a life when you have responsibilities and trying to juggle things, and I can understand that because obviously I have a channel. I'm not here to promote it, but I do have a channel, and trying to my content's a little different. I have to be outside and plan things. I can't just jump into it and sit down and be comfy, because obviously I chose content that requires you to be out physically, and with where we're at, it's cold and a little miserable, so you don't know what the weather may entail, so
yeah,
and it's kind of at that point where I'm kind of paused right now, but
yeah,
well, you gotta take that time, right?
And to your channel, you do exploring, whether that be abandoned. I mean, it could literally be any kind of exploring.
Yeah, it's been mostly abandoned right now.
So not only the weather, but you also have to find locations that are actually abandoned and not just look abandoned.
Yeah, you can't.
Or have signs up.
Yeah, you can't be trespassing. If it's posted, legally you're not allowed to do that.
Right.
A lot of places nowadays with abandoned has gotten difficult because either they are in the process of tearing these places down, or you got to worry about homeless people possibly living in it. Like in one of my videos, you could definitely tell there was people inside the building that I was going to go check out. Luckily, the surrounding area I was able to explore, but in that building per se that I really wanted to get into, they were using it as a living area, and I don't want to take a chance because nowadays you never know what may happen. So that's another thing. Yeah. You gotta play it safe. But that's just the way it is.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's literally kind of like what we're going to talk about. We were talking about taking the time, balancing things, and trying to
I think that's
rest and all that.
Not just scheduling rest, but basically, I'm going to kind of change the topic a little. It's still on the topic, but more about balancing your schedule. I think that's definitely something that we, as a society, especially, tend to sort of neglect and forget because, I get off work, or I go to work in the morning, get off work, I gotta do this, and then you don't. And then people wonder why they're so tired, and stuff like that. And I know there's going to be people out there that's like, well, easy for you to say. You can just, you're sitting here recording a podcast and all this other stuff. But let me tell you.
Still got to plan it.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's a lot of planning, especially being a new mom. So my schedule is already hectic. It's different every day, so I'm not always doing the same thing, which I love. I thrive with having every day be different. And by the way, disclaimer, you might hear our little one in the background. And as I've stated, I believe in a past episode, as he gets older, you might hear him a little bit in the background. And he is in his little play area having a blast. So
yeah, there's no avoiding that.
Not really.
He's there. You just have to get used to it.
Right.
But it's taking the time and
it's all about priorities.
Yeah, you gotta prioritize what's important. You have family, you have things that has to be done.
Yeah. Kids.
You live in an area, you can't just neglect certain things to do something else, even though sometimes it's convenient to do certain things. I think everyone has to work on that, right? No one's perfect with that.
Yeah, I think once you're able to, I feel like how to balance your life, quote unquote, and balance your schedule, I think that's going to be different for everybody. Like, we can't sit here and say, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and there you go. There's no, just like being a new mom. There are books that you can read, but let me just tell you, you might as well you can read the book all you want to, but it's not going to tell you how to be a mom.
No instruction manual.
Yeah.
Now, how bad you want to have one, there's never going to be an instruction manual. And every child's different. Every parenting situation is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Someone tells you, this, and this, doesn't mean it's going to apply.
Every child is different. You could have a child and then a few years have another child. Those two pregnancies are already going to be different.
Every pregnancy is going to be different. Every child is different. You can't treat one child and try to treat them the same. You try to treat them the same, but you never know the situation. You don't know how they're going to act, especially when they get older. You don't know what that entails, because I'm going through that now. I have teenagers.
Yeah.
So I know it's hard to believe that, but
it's crazy.
You have to sometimes realize that they're no longer younger.
Yeah.
You have to give them space. Something we grew up with understanding, because you want space, and then it comes back to you because you're like, wow, that's what it felt like.
Yeah. But, you're like, okay.
But yeah, getting back on it, there's no instruction manual. You're winging it. Right?
Yeah.
I hate to say it that way. It sounds bad saying something like that, but it is the truth. Everyone wings it because day by day it could change.
Yeah, just like
for instance, our little one going through teething. One minute he's teething, next minute he's fine. So you're playing it day by day. How that's going to go.
Right.
And you don't know if he's going to be okay, or if he's going to need more time. He's not going to sleep good tonight. He may, or he may sleep all the way through and be fine.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this is more so maybe some tips, maybe some tricks. I know I say that all the time. It's just, the reason why I say that all the time is because I know some people that might tune in will be like, oh, well, this, that, and other. And I don't know. I kind of just feel like people who say, okay, we're in the new year. I know everybody does their New Year's resolutions. And one of the things on everybody's list is, I need to go to the gym more. I need to eat better. And all this other stuff. And guess what? You don't prioritize that in your schedule to have time to meal prep if you want to eat better. or go to the gym. And a lot of people have unrealistic views about the gym. They think, I'm going to go to the gym every day after being a couch potato. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
And you're going to fail. But it's all about priorities. I believe that. I don't know about what you think. Like, if you want to add to that, do you think it's just priorities?
I mean, you have to learn to balance, right? Some days you may have a good day where you can do things that you want to get done.
Yeah.
Some days you may not. You may be physically or mentally exhausted. I mean, we all go through those days. And then you got to count on too, like I like to go outside. I like to run. I like to walk, stuff like that. And like I said, my content has a lot to do with outside.
Yeah.
Some people love the cold. Some people don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is here lately. The last few years, the cold and me have not been getting along very well. So running in the cold, it's a big no. So the new year, new me. I mean, if you're able to get physical, I'm not mad with anybody that does that. It's just if you're just doing it for a trend or just something you do. Like there's always something new or something people believe. Oh, if they're doing it, I gotta do it.
Right.
This is what I'm supposed to do. But then the rest of the year, you're like back to normal.
Yeah, I feel like everybody either. January is like that month where some people might make it through, and if they do, then they're like, well, I made it a month. Maybe I can make it 2 months. And then it turns into, you're changing your habits into more of a lifestyle, but you can't just, you can't just say, that's just like people saying affirmations, like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't do this, but because I can't, I don't know that I can look at myself and talk to myself. I feel like I've done that sorta to some degree, like.
Why don't you don't answer yourself?
Like, you got this, you know what I mean? But what I mean is some people will think that, well, I can say, you're gonna have a great day or whatever, or you are amazing and all this other stuff, and they're just saying empty words. There's no connection to the affirmation, and if that's the case, it's not gonna work.
You just gotta do it.
I feel like it's priorities, and then mastering and balancing your schedule, which I know to some people that's very anxiety driven.
It's a mental game.
It is, and
if it's a physical thing, I get that, you can get around that, but a lot of it's a mental thing. You have to, if it's something that feels big to you, then you need to do it in small portion. Work your way up to it. So like if you got set goals or things that you want to get done, with the whole. What we're talking about, similar to what we're talking about, you have to, okay, I got this today. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I put, 20, 30 minutes into, going outside and walking just for a little while.
Right.
That you just did something, right?
Yeah.
You're doing something. It's better than sitting there talking about it and not doing it. There's certain things that, obviously that hold you back from doing certain things, and you have to go around that. Think about the options that you do have, because everyone has options, right? Especially nowadays, there's a lot of things that you can do. You don't, like me, I don't like running in the cold, but I do other type of fitness activities, especially this time of the year, while I can, and balance. The spring and summer, I'm a lot more active. That's my time to be more active. But I try to balance things. I don't want to get too off topic, but a couple years ago, I went through a medical problem with my feet.
Yeah.
I was a runner, and unfortunately had nothing to do with my running. They actually told me I needed to be more physical, and that's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
So that sidelined me. I was not able to walk. You remember, I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to run.
Because you physically could not use. If he put any weight, they would just give out.
So the only way I could get around was on crunches, and that was difficult because both my feet were out.
Both of them, yeah.
I had a brace. I had a wrap around one foot and a brace on the other. So I literally was crawling around the house.
Literally.
And that wore me out. I wasn't able to do any physical activity because that's all I could do.
Yeah.
My only physical was getting from the couch to the restroom or to the kitchen. I was literally using a computer chair to get into the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I wasn't letting it, I wasn't giving up on trying to at least do things for myself. But I wasn't able to do the things that I was usually able to do. And that's why I said there's some things that will happen where you're not able to.
Mm-hmm.
My diet did suffer a little bit because I wasn't able to cook like I wanted to.
Right.
Whatever, you have to survive. You have to eat, right? So, at that time, Kristen wasn't living with me.
Yeah.
So I was home alone sometimes, and when you're home alone, you have to do things to survive. So you eat what's convenient.
That was a little after we found out that I was pregnant.
Yes. And
so and to give a little bit of a backstory, I was literally living and working in a different city altogether. So yeah,
we were a little ways apart from each other at that time.
Yeah.
So she wasn't able, and I'm not saying she wasn't trying, because when she came over, she helped me all she could, right? But there was a lot of days that she was not able to.
Yeah, because when I found out that you said you were literally crawling around, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Literally crawling around. If it wasn't for my working out that I did with my arms and stuff, that probably helped me able to crawl around the house. Because I had to crawl up upstairs. I had to crawl up the stairs. I had to crawl into the bathtub and take a bath. I'm not TMI on that.
And it's a garden bathtub, not just a little bathtub.
Yes, and then I had to crawl back out.
Yes, and that was rough.
And I was sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
I was out for 4 months, I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But not to get too much off topic, I'm just trying to say, sometimes there's things that does offset things that you're planning on doing or that you set aside to do. And that happens. Life happens, right? So you have to work around the best you can. Like, I'm doing a lot better. My feet are a lot better. I'm able to get around physically. I don't push myself as hard on my feet like I did before, because after you go through that experience, you don't want to try to go through it again. You don't know.
Yeah.
They may tell you certain things, but doesn't mean, because you know your body, right?
Yeah.
But I'm getting back to where I was before, and me being in that physical state and healthy state makes you more mentally healthy, right?
Yes.
Because you don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And everyone doubts themselves. There's no way around that. You can say, oh, I'm not happy. Let's go in person. Nothing lets me down.
I'm confident.
Hours later, something happens, and you're like, well, I ain't gonna be able to do that. I was looking good. Now look at me. Those shirts don't fit no more. But everybody gets to do that, right? But I'm not trying to get you off topic. Or get this video off topic. But seriously, it's literally like that. You're prioritizing what is important and balancing. Because not everyone has children. Not everyone has a physical type job.
Yeah.
So some people have to get more physical outside of a job,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Or if you have, I have a physical job. I'm not going to go into details what I do, but I do have a physical job.
Yeah.
So I'm on my feet. all day. I get up early, very early in the morning.
Super early.
I get up before anybody else in my whole neighborhood. And I still try to be physical after work.
He definitely gets his steps in, that's for sure.
Yes. I try to be physical because you want to be healthy. You want to be healthy for your family, you know?
Yeah.
The older you get, you want to be healthy because you don't want to be the one sitting around going, is dad going to make it until I'm a certain age?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be sad or depressing, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it's life.
You want to be there, right? And the older you get, you realize, well, maybe, you know, I sacrifice that burger right there for some chicken, and it's a little bit more healthier, and, you know, I'm not knocking some years off my life.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm not going to drill too much on it, but you just got to learn when to prioritize certain things. And rest is another part of that. Now we're getting into the rest part.
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit. But you do realize you do have to rest. Because, like I said, being physical, doing things, you do have to rest. I come home a lot of times tired. And that's normal, right? We get tired. We work. You know, you go off, do certain things. Like I have to go do things with my kids a lot of times during the weeks on top of work. So, you know, I'm over here, I come home, you know, I do the best I can, what I can do here too.
Yeah.
And you have to learn when to rest.
So I think, not that I think, but I think that you said something earlier which was good, which is knowing your body. And also resting, whether that be, you know, I feel like that could be different for everybody. And kind of feeding off what you said, my every day is different. You know, I think the only thing that I do this, like, sort of around the same time every day is possibly maybe feeding him, sort of. Well, I don't know, because that even kind of changes. His nap times are definitely around the same time every day, because I definitely try to keep his napping and his sleeping around the same time, because if not, he definitely, for him, gets thrown off. But yeah, while he's teething, he could be teething for, you know, a bit, which he gets irritable. I think especially since he has more of the back teeth coming in. But yeah, like if you want to get physical, if that's on your New Year, New Me list or whatever, and I think the reason why people fail on their New Year, New Me is because everybody has high hopes of, well, I need to change my body, whether that be physique or health reasons or whatever the case is. I need to eat better. I need to do this. I need to look like that. And the reason why everybody fails is because you're trying to either be someone you're not, or you're trying to change your identity in 1 month, and it's not going to happen. Because you need to take it in bits and pieces, like you said.
I'm going to say one thing. You have to have realistic goals.
Yeah.
And that's the key. I'm sorry, because it tapped into that. Realistic goals. You can't go out there and look like one of these celebrities out there. You can.
Well,
anybody, it's possible. But they're not your average Joe or Jane or whatever you want to go with it, that they don't have a 9-to-5 or job.
Some of them don't have kids.
They do have kids.
Or if they do, somebody else.
They're not taking care of them. But they work out daily. That's their job. That's what makes them a celebrity, right? They have doctors. They have medications that help them. I mean, that's okay. If that's the route you want to go, that's fine. But for an average person,
Yeah.
And a lot of times they end up having health problems.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going there. I'm sorry to cut you off.
You know.
But I felt like that was a good point because, you know, you kind of when you're trying to keep up with society and what they put out there on what you should look like, or what you should be doing, that's fine. That's fine if you want to be put out there, be healthy and all that. But you have to have a realistic. Just like if you go watch a superhero movie, for example, right? Oh, that's cool. You're not going to go out there and be a superhero, are you? That's not going to work well for you. Good luck with that. But I'm being for real, though. I'm like, you have to have realistic goals and mindset that you can go to the gym or run and stuff. You're not going to come out there looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry. I'm not going to deep dig in that. You can look him up. Obviously, everybody knows Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? But you're not going to look like him in his prime days by just eating chicken breast and rice and working out, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. But anyways, I hate to cut you off. Figured I'd go ahead and throw that in there because some people really think that if you do certain things, it's going to be a miracle. Just like pills to take for supplements.
Or
you go magical pill.
Diabetes shot.
You're going to lose all that.
Lose weight.
There's side effects in everything you do. So them taking substances to make them bigger, side effects. There's medical side effects. There's always a side effect to anything.
Oh, yeah.
You may be looking good for 5 to 10 years, but what happens after those years? You got to think, be smart and balance it. Because you got to think, it goes right back to being healthy and being physically, mentally healthy.
Yeah.
Because if you got your children or something, you fall back on, that 5 to 10 years was great, but what about the rest of your life?
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely, like you said earlier, it does all start in your brain.
Yes.
Our brains, again, we don't know even fully, like, there's not, maybe there is now, maybe there's more research, I haven't researched it, but there's not a full, like, because everybody's brain is different. Chemically, all these things, and so it definitely is a mental game, especially if you're trying to go from being a couch potato, and I don't mean that in a mean way, I'm just saying you cannot go from, well, I sit here and my physical is me walking to the kitchen or me walking to the bathroom or I gotta go get the mail. You can't say, well, now all of a sudden I'm gonna go to the gym every single day of the week because you have to really mentally get yourself together, change your mindset. If it's not aligned with you, if you going to the gym every day of the week is not aligned with you as a human being, you will fail. That's just a proven fact. And everything, I feel like almost everything, life period, is a game. It's a mental game that we all wake up and play every day. I think that's true. I mean, I know everybody's perception, they call it, what's the name? Everybody's perception, the viewer. There's a different word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it right now.
I think we get
the observer.
There you go.
So everybody, you're an observer of your life. Your perception's different than mine. Mm-hmm. And that's just how it is,
I mean, it's just like, and then, you observe what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also observe your peers and everyone around you. And you see what they do. And that goes back to saying you can't compare yourself to others mentally and physically because everyone is different.
Yeah.
And that goes back to, when you're younger and you see your friends, you want to be just like your friend or compete.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you start realizing, wow, I never could compete with them. and now you look back and go, wow, I'm glad I didn't. You know, you go back and you see reality hits.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, reality hits differently for everyone. Some people just don't wake up. And
yeah, some people will go the rest of their
land.
lives blinded by the light. That's how I'm gonna say it.
Blinded by the light.
Because I before probably 2023, I guess I would say, I thought I was awake, and then no, I wasn't. I was just going through the motions. I had a successful job, corporate job, it sounded great and all this stuff. I could provide for myself. I was very independent. I am very independent. But then during 2024, especially during my pregnancy, I was like, wow, I have been just going through the motions. And not saying, I was just not having a good time, everything was bad. I mean, 2023 was sort of bad for me. But that, you still had your moments, I guess you could say. But, yeah, once you wake up, and what I mean by that is, like, it's like the veil's been pulled from your eyes. Is what I'm talking about, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, you get lost and caught up in the
mundane everyday.
The process that you do, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. It taps back into the taking time for yourself and rest. Because, I mean, I can say the same thing. I mean, it started, I would say things really started a lot doing, like, I'd say back in a little before 2020 or a little after. Of course, we live in, U.S., so.
Yeah.
And the pandemic doing for us lockdowns and craziness. We're not going to dip in that because I'm not dipping into politics. But, a lot of things came to light. A lot of people, I'm not going deep into it, but yeah, I feel like even for myself and my point of view and things, sometimes you have to have something happen that your eyes open. Because I feel like for me, I went through many years doing the same thing, the process, because you think that's what you're supposed to do. And that's a whole nother topic too. But
that is
not taking time for yourself, not taking care of yourself. That's another thing.
Neglecting.
About rest, not taking care of yourself. I'm getting older. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're still young," but still, it's the truth. It's a fact. We get older.
Every day, we're all aging.
You do have to take care of yourself, and the earlier you can take care of yourself, the better. And I'm not saying if you're older, don't start taking care of yourself, because you should never not take care of yourself, right?
Right.
But the earlier, the better, because your body's able to repair itself. It's amazing what your body really can do. Even your brain, people that go through traumatic experiences, that go through anything. If you go through a trauma, drug-related, alcohol-related, there's ways around it. Some people lose their mind in that. And I'm not going to dig deep into that, because that's a whole nother topic.
It is.
But I just want to tap onto that, because everyone that could be watching this, I mean, we know people, we've had family, I mean, I've had family that's had to deal with some of that. I grew up around that. And you even when you get older, when I was a teenager, I got a little wake-up call with that. Because when you're younger, you don't think about those things.
Oh, yeah. No.
That's not even pacing your mind. You're caring about, during my time, with Power Rangers and Pokemon, right? But you didn't really focus on that. When you get older, things wake up. You wake up, right? You realize, okay, you have to take the world the way it is, and you try to make it better.
Yeah.
If not, that world will consume you.
Oh,
it will walk over you.
Oh,
and you're taught to be nice to your peers, nice to your people. That same person is thinking the same thing, most likely. And they're trying to take the world by the horns.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes those friends become associates. They're no longer your best
Or
friends.
strangers.
Strangers, or even enemies.
Just
it's sad
like
to
that
say.
song.
Family can be the same way.
You're just somebody I used to know.
Yeah, right. And it's almost like when someone dies, right? You realize, okay, where were these people before? Why did it take a funeral to bring people, right? So, that's a whole nother topic. But, more videos, right?
Yeah.
But seriously though, you gotta think about that. And I'm not saying go in as a lone wolf. I mean, that's not good. I mean, you do need to have some social, because not being social can affect you mentally, right?
Yes, I think so.
It all goes back to you need to prioritize what's more important. Like, you can socialize, you can do things like this, but do you choose this over this? Or do you go over here and then you got this? And then you go on this way because you got this going on and you got this going on. Like, you have the reality of the world, right? You pay your bills, you pay your taxes, then you got jobs, you got family, right? And then you got friends, and then you got things that you want to get done. Like, you have chores around the house that have to be done. You want to get to do, physical activities to make yourself healthy. You want to balance your food consumption. You want to make sure you get that done. Then you want to go out there and you want to go watch a movie. You want to play a game. You want to read a book. You want to go to an event. You want to go to music, or you get the point.
Yeah.
You get the point. And I'm not trying to steal the show.
Oh,
but
no,
I'm
you're
just
good.
saying, since I had it right here, might as well get it out, right? That it's all about balance.
Yeah.
And not every day can be balanced. That's why you have to take day by day on what you have to prioritize, right?
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything.
And that's the reason why it's very important. Whether, let's just say, maybe you're an athlete, maybe you're an author, maybe you're, you started your own business, maybe you're none of those, maybe you have a corporate job and your life's very demanding and all this stuff. It's very important to schedule in a way. And the reason why I say it like that is, especially, we all have one of these, these days. So go into your calendar and schedule physically, because it's a known fact, if you write it down, whether it's in your phone, on a piece of paper, maybe I've got a physical planner that I physically do plan my months, because I have started my own business, I have wrote a book, and all this other stuff. I was only able to do those things while being a new mom because of priorities and scheduling rest time. And I do write down in my planner, rest and rest. Because if you are someone like me, I can kind of get lost, and I feel like you're kind of similar in this point where you're doing something, you're like, yeah, I got the momentum, let's keep it going, like, this is great. You're gonna burn yourself out. As I've done it time after time after time, and what I have not done is schedule rest. And being a new mom, I know I keep saying new mom, but being a mom, period, whether you're new or not new, being a parent, period, whether you're new or not new, that is a demanding, you're having to take care. And I feel like that wording sounds bad. You're having to take care. You are taking care. There we go. You're taking care of another human being. And let's just go ahead and say it. That's very demanding. I love it. I would not change any of it for the world. Seriously. Because I know there's some people out there, and this is a different topic. It can be, and I do kind of want to talk about this, but those parents out there who I have literally, going back to my little corporate world job, I literally worked with another female woman, obviously, who bashed her husband all the time, who talked badly about her children all the time. And I'm just sitting there. I never once said anything to her because I just was letting her talk. But in my brain, I so badly wanted to be like, why'd you get married? Why'd you have your kids? Like, you know, that's why I'm saying that's a whole completely... So I'm the furthest thing from that. But it's, you know, it's still, it's a beautifully demanding, you know, so, and you have to, I think what I'm trying to basically say is that motherhood and daddyhood, parenthood, period, makes you see priorities, at least for me, differently. Obviously, right? And for me, he has to take naps. He has to do, you know, he's got his own schedule, and I like to keep him on schedule as much as possible. So, yeah, it's really taught me, oh, wow, I need to, you know, let yourself be bored.
Yeah, you know, having children definitely makes you rethink things, right? I have, you know, me and Kristen have a child, and have other children as well. And what she's talking about, I have, you know, experienced way before, and going off of that, I totally agree. Children, having a child, no matter how many you have, do make you prioritize responsibilities, because you're taking care of a human being, right? Yeah. You're bringing that human being into the world, and you want them to be successful. Do you want them to be more successful than you are?
Oh, yes.
That is the major goal, right?
That's the main goal.
You know,
one of the main goals.
right, and make sure they're healthy.
Yeah.
And it also motivates you to be healthy, right? Because it goes back on that. You want to be healthy. You want to be there when they get older. You want to see them graduate. You want to see them have grandchildren, right? You want to be part of all that, because
it makes you basically want to be the best version of you, and then you can see, wow, I've been neglecting.
Yeah, and some parents don't get that. Some kids don't have that. They lose a parent, or they go through an experience where the parents are not around.
Or maybe they're around, but I'm kind of roping this back into waking up. Mm-hmm. You might have parents that are around, but they've checked out. Yeah.
And as a child, you shouldn't have to go through that. But there's nothing really, as a child, you can do, right? So, you know, parenthood, you know, a lot of people say, oh, not for everyone. You know, I know people that are my age that don't have children.
Yeah.
They either want children or they don't want children. That's fine, because it's not meant for everyone, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want children, then you more than likely you probably shouldn't have a child, because you don't want to go through that.
And it's great when people know that, because again, society, and this is something that I do want to talk on, because society puts, well, these are the norms, and it kind of plops it on you, and it just kind of tells you everybody should graduate high school, go to college, you know, marry, get the house, y'all have kids, and there you go. That's the perfect life.
Or you're getting older when you're going to have a child.
Yes. Well, I was about to go to that, because I had that.
when are you going to get married? You know,
I've also had that.
Or, you know, what are you going to do here? What are you going to do that? And it's because it's society. It's the generations before and before and before. We live.
Yes.
We're, you know, that's a whole nother video. But
it is, yeah.
seriously though, like, it's like, can you be mad at them? I mean, I get it. That goes into a whole nother realm of politics and stuff. And we're not going that route. We're going to the parent route and, you know, what some people believe. Even my mother has done that. And, you know, I don't knock her for it because, you know, that's just, you know, so they don't mean bad. They mean well.
It's the generational
exactly. And
thing.
I don't care what elderly person or your mother or grandmother or anything. They're going to say that. And that's just normal because that's what it is. Yeah. But then you have some that say it and they don't mean nothing by it. Then you have some that drill on it. When you have kids.
Yeah, every time they see you, so when are you? Because I've had similar, and it's been various people in my family. Just gonna go ahead and say that. I've been asked, so when are you getting married? Or, you know, when are you having? Because we had our little one a year ago now, and I was 32. So, you know, I think when I turned 30, or something like that, when I was in a past relationship, I got asked that, and I'm like, first off, I always told myself I would never settle, and I'm not just gonna marry the first person that I'm in a relationship with. And thank God I did not marry or have kids with any of my past people that I dated, because good Lord, I mean, yeah, that's a whole, but
that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, anyways, I mean, I feel you. If you're someone and you're almost 40, I mean, women, period, are waiting. I mean, and women also are going and getting their eggs. You can go get your eggs. I know it's costly, but if you're someone, maybe you have PCOS, maybe you've got some kind of reproductive issue, and maybe you need to get, you know, your eggs out, especially if you do want to be a mom. There's all kinds of options these days.
I mean, the age thing, I get it. There is some medical things about the age thing. I get that part of it.
Yes.
But, I mean, I think there's a risk no matter what you do.
Because
you never know what may happen. You take chances, right?
It doesn't matter. I feel like it does matter, but it also doesn't matter. Because, like you said, the older you are as a woman, you do get placed in a high-risk category as your pregnancy progresses, because there are some things that can happen because you're not as young. But I kind of feel like if you're someone who has taken care of yourself, you might be just fine. And again, I'm in my early 30s. I mean, if we were to ever, which we're not.
Disclaimer, we're not doctors or a physician. So if you get offended by any of that we said about the age or medical or anything, just take it away. We are, and this is our opinion. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just talking. We're not giving medical advice at all.
Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, definitely not. And yeah, you definitely should be checking with your doctor. But yeah, I mean, you do get and I know people are just coming at it, friends, family, whoever, are coming at it from I'm curious, and, and all this other stuff. But I do think there is something to say for people who definitely know they don't want children. They've made the decision. Their, partner knows. Maybe they don't want children. You know what I mean? And I think when we first met, that was something that I usually don't ask that early. But I did because he already had kids. So I just didn't want to be, I'm hopeful to, and have feelings for someone, and you don't want. Okay.
Well, I'll tap into that too. When you do get older, right? Especially if you're dating, a lot of times people want to be upfront about it.
Yeah.
Are you willing to be married again? Would you have
me.
children? What is your plans? What is this? I mean, realistically, you don't want to spend time with someone and plan on being with that person.
Yeah.
And then go, I don't know. What are we doing? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
See,
I didn't get offended by it.
Yeah,
she was straightforward. I'd rather you be straightforward than than tell me later on. I wanted to ask this, but I was kind of scared. And I'm like, Chris, it's been 5 years now. You asked this, but no, seriously though. I mean, I get it. I don't mean to make it a joking or anything like that.
Some
but
people
seriously,
do wait on.
It's better to be open about it, and because this day and age, you don't want people wasting your time.
Yeah, well, and
our time's precious, right?
Yeah. So when we first started dating, I was kind of in the headspace, and I was going through some very serious and tough situation. I'll just put it like that. Because I don't know if I'll ever talk about that, especially on the internet. Plus, you don't want everybody knowing something. I don't know. Anyways, so I was kind of in that area where you're about to give up on dating, basically. And I'm not just saying that. I do mean it because, I don't know, I'm kind of weird, I guess, because I've always been okay by myself. And I know some people, society especially, you see that person eating alone by themselves in a restaurant and you're like, oh. No, sometimes they want to eat by themselves in a restaurant and they're not lonely, they're not depressed. Mm-hmm. It's not a situation. And
so we had a little blooper with the camera. I don't know if you could tell.
Our cat, she likes to go under the tripod and rub her face on it and her body and all this other stuff. So now I've lost my train of thought. So, but anyways, yeah, I mean, not everybody who is by themselves is lonely and depressed. I think that was basically what I was going to say. But, I remember now. I've always been, okay by myself because for the first 7 years I was by myself and then my parents had my siblings. So, but I did have, I guess for me personally, like I said before, I never wanted to settle because to me, having to play a part in your own life is, one, ridiculous. Nobody should be doing that, but a lot of people do. And I know a few people who are doing that. And, yeah. Anyways, that's a whole nother subject. But I think to bring it back in, because the camera's about to die, is that it is definitely I think it's very important to schedule, like we said, the time to rest. Whatever that means for you, it's going to look different for everybody, and to prioritize that and to allow yourself to get bored, because then you gain some new insight, or maybe you're like, you know what, I really want to start walking or start running or whatever it is, because you're in the shower and all of a sudden, the light bulb goes off. We've all had those moments. But you don't really have them as often if you're always going and going and going and going.
You get lost in transition.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I don't think there's anything I want to say.
No, I mean, I think that was pretty good. You don't want to lose the topic. Cause you can go different ways with all this.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be...
yeah.
We'll be here all day.
A lot of these topics that I talk about, like I've said, are very, interesting to me. And a lot of times I'll get excited and keep talking, and then I'm like, oh my god, I've been talking for an hour. And if I start off an episode saying, I don't want to make this a long, episode, it always ends up being...
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Well, that's good. I mean, at least you can... You get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
You get into the moment.
And I like having...
Yeah,
and I like having, other people, especially you, in the episodes. So that way, different points of view and all that. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, make sure you're subscribed, rate the show and all that, so that way you don't miss an episode. And yeah, check out my book. The audiobook is on the way, and when I post this, it'll probably already be out for everyone to buy and check out. And
check it out.
I'll have all my links below, and I will tag you, and y'all can check his channel out.
So many days I'll have some more content.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody, I hope you all have a great week, and we will see you all in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.